All Elite Wrestling is reportedly valued at $2 billion, according to a new article from Forbes today. Details on that, plus those in WWE believe that Drew Gulak is probably going to be fired amid the allegations made against him by Ronda Rousey. Plus, lots of news and details from Tony Khan's AEW Dynasty media call. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's start off talking about the valuation of AEW. Now, this comes from an article that was released earlier today, and seemingly combat sports are more popular than ever, but MMA and professional wrestling appear to have surged past boxing as the real moneymakers in this arena. Now, Mike Ozenzane and Justin Teitelbaum of Forbes released the 2024 list of the most valuable combat sports promotions today, that being Thursday the 18th of April, and the UFC stood head and shoulders above the rest with a value of $11.3 billion. WWE placed second at $6.8 billion, followed, interestingly, by AEW at $2 billion. Now, to round out the top five, One Championship was valued at $1.3 billion, and Matchroom Boxing was the highest valued boxing promotion in all of this. Matchroom Boxing valued at $850 million. Now, when it comes to WWE, as I mentioned, it's reportedly valued, according to Forbes, at $6.8 billion. The 2023 revenue was $1.33 billion. Now, this is what they said about WWE. They said, quote, WWE has been the premier name in professional wrestling since it was founded by Vince McMahon, who purchased what was then known as the WWF from his father in 1982. With stars like Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, and The Undertaker, WWE and its annual WrestleMania events have become a cultural phenomenon. Today, WWE reaches more than 1 billion people weekly across the globe with its 3 television shows and produces more than 200 live events every year. Now, interestingly, as I mentioned, in the third spot in terms of the most valuable combat sports promotions in the world, AEW ranked third with a value of $2 billion. Now, we don't know the exact numbers when it comes to their revenue, but according to Forbes, the estimated 2023 revenue is $250 million. It lists the top drawers as the Young Bucks, Jon Moxley, and Kenny Omega, and the operator being Tony Khan. This is what Forbes said. They said, quote, "The youngest promotion on the list, AEW, became the primary challenger to WWE when it launched in 2019. AEW got immediate legitimacy from superstars like Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks, while a partnership with New Japan Pro Wrestling and the purchase of Ring of Honor have helped the young brand build its roster and match library." So what do you make of a value of $2 billion? It's not the first time, of course, that a number like this has been put against AEW. It was reported back in September of last year, we brought you the video, that an analyst had valued AEW at $2 billion. So it's not the first time that AEW has been valued at $2 billion. So what do you make of that number? Do you think it's accurate? And do you think that's good news when it comes to AEW and their media rights negotiations with Warner Bros. Discovery? Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section below. Now, a bit of an update when it comes to the latest developments regarding Drew Gulak, his WWE future, and the allegations made against him by Ronda Rousey. Now, WWE reportedly could be set to fire Drew Gulak following misconduct allegations leveled against him by Ronda Rousey. Now, it was claimed by Rousey earlier this month that Gulak grabbed the drawstring of her sweatpants while they were both backstage at a WWE event in 2022. Gulak has since admitted to touching the drawstring, but claimed it was an accident while shaking colleagues' hands. Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer has since reported that WWE carried out an investigation into the allegations. We brought you the details of this in the video earlier today. Gulak was then written out of WWE NXT, having been taken care of by Tony D'Angelo and the family. This is what he tweeted to his ex-subscribers, Brian Alvarez. He said, quote, "Regarding Ronda and Drew, what is unique about this one is both claim that there were witnesses. I was told WWE did an investigation, interviewed people, and Gulak has been murdered in storyline, so I presume that tells you the result of the investigation. Dave Meltzer has since stated on Wrestling Observer Radio that the findings of the investigation were inconclusive, but Gulak was pulled from television due to the negative publicity. The expectation is that Gulak will likely be fired by WWE. He said, quote, "What I was told was that the witnesses were not conclusive. It was one person's word against the other, but Gulak was bad publicity, so he got whacked. I don't know that he's been fired, but when I ask, it's like, if he hasn't been, he probably will be. It's not looking good for him, let's put it that way," Meltzer reported. Of course, we get any more concrete information on Gulak in the future, we'll let you know in an upcoming video. And finally, Tony Khan revealed a lot of details and answered some very interesting questions when it comes to AEW on today's AEW Dynasty media call. Now, let's get into some of the highlights from this. Now, he was first asked about the airing of the AEW All-In footage of CM Punk and Jack Perry's backstage altercation. Now, Khan said when the ratings came in, TBS called and told him good job and was happy with the performance, as that's the most important metric. He said the rating is the #1 source of fan feedback for the network. He thinks airing it added a lot of intrigue into the tag team title match this weekend as well. So certainly doubling down on that stance. Now, he was asked also if there was any situation in which he would step down as booker of AEW and let someone else take over. Now, Khan said that no one lasts forever in any position. He said he's having more fun than ever right now. He takes things year to year and moment to moment. He says many wrestlers are loyal to him right now, and he's going to do his best to pay them back. So certainly no plans to step aside and let someone else do the booking for AEW anytime soon. Now, we spoke about that $2 billion valuation by Forbes, and Khan did mention this on the media call and said AEW is the most valuable sports startup since the AFL, which eventually merged with the NFL. He said the media rights renewal is the most important for the company, and pay-per-view growth is also important. Now, he was also asked about CM Punk and, of course, the interview that he did with Ariel Helwani, in which he claimed that he paid out of his own pocket and had to arrange his recovery from his torn triceps injury whilst in AEW. Now, when asked about whether CM Punk was telling the truth about covering his own medical expenses and whether they cover those expenses in general, Khan said they typically do it for talent, and it didn't sound right to him that they wouldn't. But he also said he would reimburse CM Punk if that was the case in his situation. He was also asked about the Nyla Rose Oklahoma commission situation that arose yesterday regarding whether or not she could actually be allowed to compete there and AEW could get fined. It's quite a big situation that came up on social media yesterday. Now, Khan said he was unaware of the issue and he doesn't think they did anything wrong and was disappointed by the commission's stance in Oklahoma. He said transgender people have rights and both he and the company stand behind Nyla Rose. We get any more follow-up on that, of course, we'll let you know. Now, he also commented on Jon Moxley's upcoming schedule now that he's the brand new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. And when asked about Jon Moxley's schedule and how it will change to his New Japan commitments and his influence on that schedule, Khan said it's Gedo's decision if the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship is defended in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and it's a mutual decision if it's defended on an AEW show. Now, he didn't give a direct answer, but said he was looking forward to working with New Japan Pro Wrestling on it. So didn't really exclusively comment to Moxley's schedule changing or anything like that. Now, in a bit of a follow-up to the Oklahoma situation, he was asked if AEW will still run states with transgender regulations like Oklahoma, or if they will run shows and just keep Rose off of them in those states. Khan said he is looking forward to their 2024 schedule and will take everything under consideration with a developing situation. Now, he was also asked about the decision to give more options to buy Dynasty domestically via streaming services. Khan said he is optimistic about keeping that availability in the future, but isn't sure after the next 3 events. He said it's really cool WBD gave them the option to do so. He didn't say specifically what drove that decision now, though. Of course, lots of people have been saying they've been having issues with BR Live and things like that, so it might have been pushed by that. But of course, as the media rights negotiations come up in the future, exclusivity to pay-per-view events may change. Now, he also confirmed that the winner of the Bullet Club Gold / the Acclaimed match on Sunday, of course, that's the Trios Championship match where it's going to be for the AEW World Trios Championships as well as the Ring of Honor 6-man Tag Team Championships, will be the undisputed Trios Champions, indicating that a unification is indeed happening. Now, he didn't suggest if we're going to see more unifications across Ring of Honor and AEW, but we'll have to wait and see. He also added that there was an injury this week that prevented it from being announced earlier. He didn't didn't say which person was hurt or to what extent, but did say there was an injury that kind of delayed the match announcement. Now, when asked about year-over-year comparison for the first quarter, Tony Khan said that revenue, when it comes to All Elite Wrestling, is significantly up. They are running more events with Collision. Some markets year-over-year are up. Revolution was one of the highest selling pay-per-views ever. More pay-per-view revenue and increased right fees contributed to that as well. So he's suggesting that their first quarter was better than they did last year. Now, when asked about the release of the pay-per-view schedule that came out recently, of course, we now know the pay-per-view calendar for the remainder of this year, the dates and the locations of the remaining pay-per-views. When asked about why they did that, he said it was an initiative by Kosha Irby and his marketing and arena bookings teams to get that schedule out early. He was also asked about and talked about the launch of the Young Bucks Succession-tinged characters, which began in January, and that he had some big visions for it. He also mentioned how the show's creator, Jesse Armstrong, is a big Fulham fan, and that he told him about the entrance song, etc. Now, when asked about possible bundling, making their library available and streaming packages, Khan said it will be something interesting to look at with the next media rights deal. He is very excited about making the library available and expects it to happen with the next deal. He adds that they are still in the exclusive negotiation window with WBD. So as of right now, there are no talks with no other networks because they're still in that exclusivity window with WBD. He also talked about working with CMLL. He said it's been amazing working with CMLL. He said that he told Kosha Irby that working for AEW will be different than anything he did before because of their various partnerships and friendships in the business, which Irby agreed with. He said Carlos Cabrera coming in was Mike Mansory's idea. Having worked with him in WWE, Khan said he listened to fan feedback to upgrade their Spanish language presentation and is very happy with that signing. So again, certainly some big things coming out of that media call. What stands out to you there? Let me know your thoughts about that. Be sure to smash the like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and I'll speak for you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.